I find attention, like just the function of attention, to be like a really fascinating thing.
Yeah.
That might be like the little nugget, because there's, with a word like consciousness, attention's like a pretty central microcosm of it.
For me, it's a huge motivator. I've come to realize, just like observing myself, whether I like it or not, if there's like a high score, or if like other people are viewing it, it makes me want to do it so much more. It's just like a passive thing of mine. Like, I often wonder how my photography like has changed because of social media, because it's like
how you've changed the art because you've like kind of statistically looked at like what works or what people like versus what they don't.
Yeah, like, would I be in love with the same things if it wasn't getting, because it's pretty remarkable that you can have, like, we're in a state of the world where like you can get instant affirmation and like this digital trophy for something that you created.
Yeah.
I've never had that before. Like, even when I was in the military, like, being told that you did a good job happens rarely, and it feels amazing. And like, every time you post a photo, technically it's like a good job system.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like right now I photograph people a lot, but it's like definitely 100% changed because of like the social structure that's in place, because of me being motivated by social factors as well.
Yeah. No, I feel that sentiment a lot. And I think the example I give of like kind of and I think maybe you kind of touched on this a little bit with the, social media dying post, or hopefully it dies to some degree.
It's dying.
At least the iteration it is right now. Something needs to be changed if it's not going to die.
Which I have a ton of thoughts on as well.
Yes, so we'll go right into that. But to me, like, I think a really good example is like, when something as beautiful as like film and like cinema, seeing what's happened over the past decade or so with like Marvel movies.
Yeah.
How they're just like really blown up, and they're like the most money extracting, attention grabbing things.
Yeah, it's like the algorithm for success.
Yes.
Monetarily.
Right. And so what you just described about like how has my art changed by paying so much attention to the measurable factors of,
'cause I'm trying to be more successful.
Right. Chasing that form of success. I guess it's tangible statistical success is how we can get specific about it.
Yeah, but it's tangible statistical success where the success is defined by social factors. So it's like we redefined what success is for this, or rather it defined itself through time.
Yeah, well, I think that matters. That matters a lot to the reason why I differentiate it is because success can be a very loaded word, because I think that and this is the problem of like why I'm not successful like that. Like, I kind of wish I cared more about that, and I kind of wish at least admit that I don't care that much about it, but understand that it's important if I want to make a living off of creative stuff. I think that's the unfortunate corner we're in. And so I think it's more like it's the mature thing to accept that it matters and to take advantage of the fact that it matters. But to me, I think the really important thing in success is that core artistic expression, like figuring out what it is, prioritizing what it is you want to express, and not giving a shit about what the public demands, and giving the public, because there is that saying too. I know Rick Rubin said it in his book, The Creative Act, but about the people don't know what they want. It's like up to the artist to show them something new, and then the artist doesn't know either. The artist is just expressing themselves, and sometimes there's an accidental striking of gold, which is the right thing at the right time in the zeitgeist, and it blows the fuck up. And so many great artists can't repeat that moment because it's an accident that like transcends the statistical knowing and the science of the whole thing. But yeah, back to the Marvel movie thing. It's like it's this unfortunate corner we get into where these movies, as entertaining as they are, as they like hold people's attention, and they're constantly moving, and they're understandable to the widest audience, they lose a lot of that artistic merit that like good cinema has. and there is no prioritization of like a single entity, like an auteur that has like a vision that they're trying to show people.
Yeah.
And fuck what the public likes. It's like there's going to be the part of the public that likes it, and there's going to be the part of the public that doesn't. And I don't know. I mean, that's where I feel like that's where like my heart is on the whole thing. Why I feel it's so unfortunate, because I feel like social media has done that. We're moving further away from art, and we're moving more into like marketing and advertising, and that being the way people think and operate and think what's good. It's like why we have the Mr. Beasts out there.
Yeah,
you know, it's like he does have very entertaining things. Like every 7 seconds of his videos are scientifically like put together, analyzing these factors that way. But if you compare that to like some, you know, old comedy sketches or whatever, it's like those things have way more artistic value.
Yeah.
And they move you more. There's more emotion and like realness to them. Where Mr. Beast, it feels like you're watching a 17-minute advertisement.
I think unfortunate, the word you used, or the term unfortunate corner, I think is apt, because it's like this unfortunate corner of culture that was destined to happen, and it's happening everywhere with this like boiling point of humanity. And what I mean is like this like late stage with just the sheer number of variables and people that we have on the planet is like causing all of these things to come to a boiling point. And what that is like we always have to beat the earlier versions of ourselves at whatever that defined success is. And so like in a free market system, like everything that is like competitive for money, this is where movies have to end up. This is where songs are going to end up. And then like there is still the indie factor, but the companies that get more and more money that are in charge of production aren't going to funnel money into them unless they're like, I have extra money and this is a passion project. You know, it doesn't make sense. You have board members to answer to. You have to do better than you did before, which is like this no ceiling limit to success. It's impossible to achieve eventually, and we might be starting to see it. Like, it's funny you bring up the Marvel thing. I was just watching an interview with Matt Damon yesterday, and he was basically talking about his complaints and expressing why he thinks that movies can't be achieved how they used to be. Not only is it timeline and the accessibility of green screen, but like he's talking about the overhead and how DVDs used to be a huge factor.
Yeah, I read a little bit about that. Like there's that second wave of, you know, potential cult success even after the initial theatrical failure of like something.
Boondock Saints failure, but cult success in the DVD section afterwards does not have the Boondock Saints of the future does not have a place to exist now.
Yeah, because
we need Marvel. Well, I don't think that.
Yeah,
but
we don't need it. It's just
yeah. I liked Iron Man the first time.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if I even liked it the first time.
Yeah, but the first time I was in like 9th grade.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was like
around the same age. I think
like a role model kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?